Well, today's going to be a treat. I don't know about for you, but definitely for me. So we're going to be using the Nikon Z50 version 2 with some beautiful lenses. These are little jewels. These are the Voigtlander's APS-C lenses for Z mount. So when you focus, it brings that green eye focusing point up. It's amazing. I love it. It's on the ZF. They brought it into the Z50 Mark II. So we're going to be shooting with the 35Z f2 macro, and I'm going to do some product shots and some, people shots with it. I'll be using the 30 or 23 1.2, gorgeous lens, and one of my favorites, the 35 1.2. These are absolute jewels. They're I can't say heavy, but they're heavier for their size because they're, a bit deceiving when you see them. It's all metal and glass. These are built so perfectly well. The focus is so smooth, and these are just gorgeously made lenses. I love these lenses. If you've never tried a Voigtlander, definitely try one. They're absolutely stunning lenses. That's the 35 1.2. This is the 23 1.2. Hopefully they're in focus. And then this is the 35 f2 macro. This is a little bit bigger, but boy, is this a beautiful rendering lens. It's this, when I started playing with it, I couldn't believe how close I get in. I'm not a macro shooter all the time. Like I very rarely shoot macro. But this time when I pulled it up, I was just like, I was so impressed with what I got out of this, with this little camera. This is a great lens to have. So are these other two though. But anyway, let's do the shoot, see how they do. This is a beautiful setup. And the size of this on this camera, I just think is fantastic. Just let me throw one of these little, this is the bigger lens of them, and it's still fantastic on the camera. Let's try the 35. I absolutely love the 35 as well. There's nothing wrong with the 23. It's great too, but this 35 gives you that, whatever, 50 something. But forgive me, I have this on here. I was just shooting some macro shots of these lenses with that 35, but isn't that beautiful? It just handles so well. It's such a great fit on this body. I love this setup. This is so nice. So if you don't mind manual focusing, definitely take a look at these lenses. Now, I asked Stephen Gandy from Camera Quest for these. As soon as I got this camera, I was like, Stephen, you got to send me the APS-C lenses for Nikon so I can try them on this body. And he sent them right out. God bless him. Obviously I have to send them back. I don't get to keep them or anything. 100% honest. I'm going to be honest. But these are beautifully made lenses. It fits this body so well. So, they have, the full frame for the Z mount, which are fantastic on the ZF. But having these smaller lenses, a little bit lighter for the prop sensor, I think is fantastic. I wish Nikon would do this. But anyway, so let's get to the shoot, see how we do. It should be fun, and I'm really looking forward to this. Thanks for watching as always. So I'm going to start these lens tests in a controlled environment. So I'm just using studio strobes. I'm going to stop down to f2. Sometimes I go to f2.8 rather than wide open because I want to see the rendering. With Voigtlander lenses, usually like 1.2 lens, you're going to have, this gorgeous rendering at 1.2 and then an ultra sharp rendering at 2.8. And I really believe this is the case with these as well. So, this very first shot's going to be at f2, and it's very sharp. It's amazing what you can do from 1.2 to 2. To bring in the sharpness and resolution. It renders beautifully. This is the 35 that I'm starting with because I love the 35. I have to say right off, the 23 is a great lens. It's just as sharp, but it's a little bit harder to focus. But we'll get to that in a little bit. Right off, the manual focus assist with that the green box that shows up on the eye, it picks up on the eye very, very quick on the 35. It just shows, and even with f2, it's a very limited focus point, so you really have to fine adjust it. You know, very, very fine adjust on the focus to get that to light up green, because it's just a shallow depth of field. So, uh, you're going to work a little bit for that when you're shooting wide open. But man, the images when you see them, it's so worth it. Now I switched over to the 23, so I'm moving things out of the way just a little bit, and this is tougher to focus. It's a distance away. It's harder to get that box to light up green with this lens for sure. It does pick up on the eye pretty quickly, but moving it to green is a little bit harder. And I thought it would be easier because it's a wide angle lens, but that's not the case. I guess it's the distance that throws the camera a little bit. And remember, this is like a 35 on full frame equivalent. Anyway, I didn't stay with the 23 that long. It was just a little bit uncomfortable for me to use in the studio, in the dark studio. This is a lot darker than it looks because I just have that ISO boosted on the video camera quite a bit. Now I switched over to the 35 APO. The apochromatic properties of this lens are really important for this kind of macro work, because you would see purple fringing everywhere if this thing wasn't as well corrected as it is, and it is really well corrected. This is a true APO lens for sure. You can see on Chloe's name there on her perfume. It's sharp. It's gorgeous. I didn't have to take anything away. I didn't pick up on any, fringing or anything like that with this lens. It's that well corrected. I would have a tough choice not buying both 35s, the 1.2 for its gorgeous rendering and the 35 f2 APO, this one, for its incredible, it's just perfect. I don't know what else to say. They did such an amazing job with this lens. I didn't notice any issues with it at all while I was shooting this stuff. Now, obviously, I'm just popping these off, really quickly. At the end, I'm going to do some close-up work on the lenses themselves, just to show you how close you can get. But it's impressive. I always like a little bit longer for a macro lens, but when the images look like this, and it's, a 50 millimeter, give or take, it works. So definitely look at the 35 APO, because this is beautiful. Anyway, so now I wanted to open this lens wide up at 1.2 and just shoot at 1.2 and see how it renders. And it has the most amazing glow to it. Like, it's not perfect, but it's sharp. I don't know how else to put it. It just has the gorgeous, gorgeous rendering that I just fell in love with instantly. I mean, this combo with this Nikon Z50 version 2 and this lens, it's something a little bit special with this 35 1.2. So out of all the lenses, I'm pushing more towards the 35 1.2 as my favorite, and the 35 APO f2 is a very minor second. It's so close, it's ridiculous. And the 23 would be the third, only because it's just a little bit more difficult to, to focus. And it could have been me, and it could have been the dark environment. I wish I did bring the 23 out in this lighter environment. I'm sure it would have worked just as good, because I know a lot of people love that 35 focal length, and that 23 would get you close to that. But I'm a 50 shooter, so maybe that's the situation where I love this 35 so much. So take that with a grain of salt. That could just be me. Anyway, just walking around and having fun with this 1.2 and seeing what it could do and how it renders. I'm just impressed with the Voigtlander APS-C lenses. If you are interested in buying these lenses, I don't make a dime off these. I don't have an affiliate code or anything. I'll leave the link for Camera Quest in the description. Stephen Gandy is, everything's shipped quickly and everything's taken care of. He's just always there and takes care of you really, really well. So I love working with him. Anyway, this is just a couple macro shots I did. I just wanted to see how this lens did and how close you can get with it on the 35 Apo macro, and it's really impressive. I actually had fun with this. I don't shoot macro very often, but this was a joy to shoot. It was fun. Anyway, thanks for watching as always. If you have any questions, leave them below. Uh, have a great day.